going to try one more thing and then we're going to bail.
Okay, you're live. I just heard that and I'm watching that. You're good.
Yeah, I don't see it on my end, unfortunately.
That's all right. I'm seeing you, I'm hearing you, and you're almost real time. It's only a 3-second delay. They're hearing me on my phone through you.
All right, well, I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to go for it. And if there's a problem, let me know. Okay, I'll hang up on you now.
Okay, go for it. Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, I guess everybody can hear me. Sorry about that one. Just the vagrancies of technology yet again. So just so you guys know, I can't see anything that I'm doing. I have no feed from the outside world coming back to me. So I'm assuming I would work. So anyway, welcome aboard to the Wednesday edition of the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. We start here at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, and we run until the questions run out or until 8 o'clock, whichever comes first. So I've got myself some new speakers, old school here, but I love them. I'm going to get these things plugged in. I need a knife really bad, but I'm tethered up, so I can't get one. Jessica, would you be a pal and grab me a knife? Here, merci beaucoup. Yeah, so it's been an interesting week to say the least, guys. Don't forget that this next Monday we're going to be doing the final of our 3-session What's the Best Type 2 Hypervisor to Use to Teach Yourself CompTIA courses. And we're going to be doing my personal favorite, VirtualBox. And yeah, I know I'm biased, but I've learned a lot working with VMware and Hyper-V. And what I can say is that if you need to, you can use any of those three. If you need to, any of those three would work. But right now, I'm pretty much pulling for VMware Player, which surprisingly enough was free. And then, of course, VirtualBox, because I always love VirtualBox. What can I say? All right. Again, I'm frozen up solid, guys, so I'm just assuming I've got a good throughput. If any... Oh, now I'm frozen again. All right. Well, guys, so Gotham City, I'm sorry that you're having some problems with it. It seems like everyone else is doing okay. And, you know, just keep me posted if we have any issues. All right. We'll just assume everybody's good. All right. So it's definitely been an interesting week. We're continuing to crank on CyberNow Labs. Being real happy with what's taking place there. Got some interesting questions that came in. Last week, I had told, somebody asked, is that with IPv6, do you have to put DHCP DNS servers behind a router? And I said no, because you don't. But then they said, do you have to have DHCP v6 servers behind a router? And the answer is absolutely yes, you do. Now, the beautiful part about IPv6 is that you shouldn't have to have DHCP v6. It should be gone. Native IPv6 works without DHCP. You don't need it. There is no NAT. Not really, not at least NAT as we understand in an IPv4 world. That's very interesting. The person who asked the question asked me to email them back, and I will email them back. But it was a very interesting question, so got that one worked out. All right. Let's see if we got any questions popping up. Hey, Mr. G, good to see you. Wildor Francois. Hey, Mike, can you assign a 192 scope to another router within a 192 scope? Uh, yes, if you have them NATed, then you can put anything you want. Remember, once you put NAT, you can have 100 networks that are all 192, 168.4. Whatever, because they're only seeing the one IP address on the WAN side. NAT hides all the IP addresses on the LAN side of the router, so you absolutely can. In fact, I assure you that there are probably, not unrealistically, 10 million 192, 168.1 networks out there. But they're all behind NATed home routers, so it doesn't matter. Looking for questions. Okay. Everything's like barely working right now. I don't get it. Even my mice are acting pilly right now. Why would my mice act pilly of all things? Yeah. All right, well, anyway, got a couple of small issues that have come up. Looks like Security Plus is going to be, the new update for Security Plus should be coming out in the not too distant future. We've got some preliminary maybe stuff from CompTIA, so we'll see. Obviously, I can't tell anybody anything that's on there because I'm under an NDA. Jason Harris, if I give it... Look, no, I've got a mouse problem right now, guys. Seriously. I don't know if you've ever done this, but you get so many mice that you kind of start losing track. These are all wireless mice, of course. So I have dongles laying like everywhere. I'm so lost and confused. I will literally throw these away rather than let myself get all confused one more time. Then on top of that, so this behemoth, which basically just refuses to ever work. Yeah, so I've got a problem with rodent control, to say the least, around here. Oh, Lord. The keyboard still works, so I'll give it that. All right. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys are looking for this is why I hate wireless anything. Wireless drives me insane. It just always breaks. It's like it's a superpower to break when you least want it to. All right. Anyway, so a couple of things. Do keep in mind that what is today? Today is Wednesday. So next Saturday will be our next info session for CyberDown Labs. Be sure to check that out. Dave will post up a link in the chat window for you. Yeah, get a Cat 6 to chase the mouse. So frustrating the way nothing's working right now. Do check out the info session. We've got my buddy Richard Chapman doing them. He's the same guy I do Two Ball Nerds with. A lot of fun. Definitely enjoy having Richard around, and I can't recommend that enough for you. I do see a couple of new names there. Ali, I would like clarification on the 255.255.255 subnet mask in the routing table. Well, that is very simply the referential to whenever you see 255.255.255.255, that means that the subnet mask has to match perfectly. I cannot. I don't have any mice. So what I'm going to have to do here is to answer your question, I'm going to have to try to pull up a route print on my phone. Okay, so what I've done here, Ali, follow along with me. So Ali, I assume we're talking about Windows. I've opened up a terminal in Windows and I've typed in route print. So when you type in a route print, what you're going to be seeing is a bunch of stuff under netmask. So I hope you guys are actually doing this. Get to a computer and type in route print, or at the very least, do a search for route print on your web browser. And so when I look at that, the network destination is going to be some IP address. And then the net mask is going to be like all zeros, 255s, whatever it might be. But a lot of them are all exactly one particular one. For example, 127.0.0.1 with the net mask of 255.255.255.255. In other words, you are sending something exactly to 127.0.0.1. That's all that means. Also, like your own network card is going to have a 255.255.255.255 because you're referencing yourself. It's also referencing the broadcast address for the network ID. So if you have a 192.168.4 network, you'll have a 192.168.4.255, which is used for broadcast, at least within that the 192.168.4 network. In those situations, by identifying the net mask with exactly that same value, it's telling you exactly. The only thing is this only works for this one address. That's really what it boils down to. That was a good question. Patricia Grace, good to see you. I always have to close the stream and come back on the phone. Desktop I see beginning with no trouble. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely have a mouse. I got a serious mouse issue today. I got a stupid, don't even ask how much I paid for this zoomy, groovy mouse, and it's being a pain in the rear end. We'll figure it out. Also, a couple other things. I see we got some new faces on here, so I definitely want to throw this out. If you haven't joined me on our Discord channel, hey, Siegfried, are you still on? Siegfried Vanderwee, if you're still on, type something into the chat window. Anyway, we got it, Mike. Thank you. Okay, Ali, glad. Do check out our Discord channel, the unofficial Mike Meyers Discord channel. Dave Rush has got the link in there. It's a good one. We didn't have these transmission problems till we got Wednesday PM. Oh, well. All right, Siegfried. Siegfried, hang on a little bit. We're probably only going to be running till about 7:30 today. The questions seem a little light, but I need to talk to you. Dave Rush, can you give Siegfried my phone number? We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yeah, all these problems. It's a hassle today. That's why I'd call directed broad. Yeah, there's so many new terms. I get in trouble with terms. We were talking about multi-speed gigabit switches today. And I was talking about switches. Ooh, pardon me. I'm talking about switches that are old 10 base T, 100 base T gigabit. And now it seems for a lot of people, multi-speed switches means 1 gig, 2.5 gig, and 10 gig, or sometimes even 5 gig. 1, 2.5, 5, and 10 gig switches. So, yeah, well, terminology, it's always going to get you in trouble. Hey guys, do keep in mind that just because you're nice enough to show up tonight, we have our usual amazing deal. All you have to do is head over to www.totalsem.com and you can get a combination of an ebook and practice questions for 50% off. In order to take advantage of this, head over to www.totalsem.com. Let's say you're interested in Network Plus. Head over to there, grab the Network Plus ebook. It has to be the ebook, not the hardcover, not the paper book. And then grab the TotalTester practice questions. And then just before you sign off, type in Alamo, as in remember the Alamo. Oh, I thought Alamo's, I guess it is about this time of year. Anyway, type in Alamo and you get it for 50% off. That's a combination ebook and practice questions. It's an amazing deal. You know, one of the things that, you know, everybody, Texans are so proud of themselves. The War of Texas Independence lasted about, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And it preceded the Texans getting their rear ends kicked over and over and over again. Goliad, Alamo, a bunch of other places we lost that we don't advertise as much as the Alamo. And basically we had one victory in the Battle of San Jacinto, and that would be April 21st coming up. So yeah, the Texas independence is, it's not that exciting, to be honest with you. Oh, we get pretty proud of it, and we have an obelisk that's exactly, I think we made it 6 inches shorter than the Washington Monument, called the San Jacinto Monument. Look that one up. And yeah, but War of Texas Independence was not too terribly exciting. Wake up. Yeah, sorry, Matt. I don't know why I've been yawning here lately. Yeah, so it's a bit of a challenge. So back on the health kick big time. I'm in week 4 now. So for me, the 4 steps were: number 1, get the nicotine out of my life, which I have done. And when I say nicotine, I was just doing lozenges. Well, I kept sucking on these nicotine lozenges, right? And a buddy of mine's like, Mike, you need to stop sucking on these lozenges. You should try the patch. So, well, I did. I tried the patch for about like 3 days, but I couldn't do it. I mean, well, they kept getting stuck to the roof of my mouth. And yeah, it just didn't work. I'm kidding. So number 1, no nicotine. Number 2, get my fat rear end moving. So I am now working out every morning. I'm in the 4th week. I work out a minimum of 30 minutes, and it's basically just, you know, cardio and stretching, because I want to be able to touch my toes again one day without bending my knees, and we're getting there. So that's step 2. Step 3 is alcohol. I'm cutting way back on the booze, way back, and I've discovered the secret. If you ever want to drink less, here's all you got to do: buy crappy liquor. I'm telling you, it works, man. People are like, hey, have a glass of wine, Mike. I'm like, I'm a little picky about my wine. So I'm actually trying to go back to some of these mid-range French Burgundies, which is, for me, that's tough. So that one. And then the 4th one, which is the one I'm just starting now, and that is cutting the calories back again. So this is, good Lord, this is day 2. Which is really day 1, because I totally blew day 2 all the way. So I'm doing that intermittent fasting stuff. And so I haven't eaten since 3 o'clock this afternoon. And right now I think I could literally eat one of these mice, no problem. But we're going to try to make that work. So we'll see what happens over time. Hey, also do keep in mind that, okay, Dave, thanks for sending Siegfried my phone number. Hey, Siegfried, just go ahead and text me something as soon as you can. Yeah, I need to stay healthy. I got to tell you, half the problem, Matt, is that I got 3 grandkids now, and they're all like, you know, people start saying scary stuff at a certain point, you know, and they're kind of like, oh, yeah, maybe you should just sit here, Dad. It's like, oh, God, am I there already? I'm only 61, so we'll see it. We'll see what I can do. So I'm working on it, Matt. Yeah, so anyway, if any of you guys want to join me, let me know. Let's get healthy. We can do this. Hey, Momsd. So this cracks me up. So how come? All right, we're getting a few more people. This is good. I'm getting happy. Okay, but seriously, guys, do keep in mind the reason we have these is this is an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions. So do take a moment and think about questions you might want to send. Otherwise, we can wrap this up a little bit on the early side. As long as we do 30 minutes, I'm always happy. It's not that big of a deal. On the phone front, my 5-year affair with Ting has finally come to an end. I don't know what happened to Ting, but they used to be it was a very cheap service. No, it wasn't as good as AT&T or some of the other ones over here. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's called Ting, Ting.com. And basically you put in their SIMs. And it was like half the price of everybody else. Now it's about the same price. But I've switched back to AT&T, at least down here in Texas. Since I don't travel a lot, AT&T seems to work out pretty good. And on the few times I do travel, like especially if I'm going overseas, I'll just get a SIM for wherever I happen to be. That works out just fine. Patricia Grace, I used Ting years ago. Yeah, it was a good one. Ting was good. It's not so good anymore. Does Google even still do Google Fi? Google Fi? I'm not sure if it does. Google Fi. Huh? Yep, still around. Google Fi. I don't know. I just don't trust Google anymore. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Google, I have almost completely disconnected. Almost completely disconnected from the Google. I'm afraid to say even a word like that because it might offend somebody. I've disconnected from Google. I still have my original Gmail account, my desweds at Gmail, but that's barely used. So it's working pretty good. Yeah, Dave, I'm doing lower keto too. My problem with lower keto is that I'd start drinking some wine and then all of a sudden I wanted bread. I don't have a sweet tooth too much. Me, it's just good bread, man. Good crunchy bread. Boy, a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, and thou, man, that is so much my story. Okay, guys, seriously, though, we do need some questions. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping it up. It's great to see everybody. Do keep in mind, number one, on Monday, we're going to be doing the last of our 3-part series on type 2 hypervisors. Yeah, I know Hyper-V is a type 1 hypervisor, but it acts like a type 2, so I'm going to call it that. So we're going to be wrapping up on that and how to be using these tools to actually help yourself learn CompTIA certification topics. On Wednesday, Steve Nicholson's going to be covering for me, so you're not going to see me here next week. It's going to be Steve. Steve is getting excited about joining in the family more and more, and I think he's a great presenter, so I definitely want to give him some more opportunity. So he's going to be on next Wednesday. I got it, Siegfried. And so that should be a lot of fun. Also, I got another kind of interesting thing coming up, and that is, CyberNow Labs does all this stuff with their socks. I wanted to talk to some of the guys about, I'm not so interested, we'll let CyberNow Labs handle the sock stuff, but on our end, I'm a little bit more interested in things like, how do we actually configure and use SIM? Why are things like simple network management protocol, layer 2 tunneling protocol, all of these 10-year, 20-year-old protocols are for the most part being ignored for proprietary protocols, highly encrypted proprietary protocols? That might be the answer right there, huh? Anyway, so I got a couple of guys over from CyberNow Labs I'm trying to get to have come over. We'll do it via Zoom meeting, of course. But to have them just talk about the underlying technology of how we're doing system interconnection now. It's fascinating to me how this is all taking place. And I'm looking forward, it's probably going to be about 2-3 weeks before I can get something put together, but I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, do keep in mind that that's going to be coming down the pike as well. Will Shaw. Oh, Shark Storm, 3:30, wake up. Kansas City to Seattle. Yeah, Will, we wonder where you're at, man. Why do I keep changing the times? I keep forgetting the time one day. Well, we've only changed the time like once. So in the 2.5 years we've been doing this. So Mondays at 2 p.m., Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That's it. It's that easy. We were doing them all at 2 p.m., but we found out that a lot of people in the U.S. were having trouble showing up. So we went ahead and moved a Wednesday till 7 just to give an opportunity for more people to ask questions. All right. All right, guys, it looks like we're going to have a quiet day today, so we're going to wrap it up. Remember, come back next Monday. I think you're going to really like how we're going to finish up on virtual machines. I'm pretty sure I am going to, because Andrew Hutz asked, do a little something on true Type 1 hypervisors, in particular ESX and KVM, and actually set up some Type 1 hypervisors here and just see why we do it and what can we do with Type 1. So Type 1 hypervisors are, in my opinion, pretty much useless for learning about virtual machines, useless for teaching yourself CompTIA subjects, but there is room in my heart for a Type 1 hypervisor in a SOHO environment. So we're going to be thinking in terms of that. So that'll be on Monday, and then Wednesday we got Steve Nicholson. So I'm out the door here, folks. This is your Uncle Mike saying bye-bye. I hope everything's going to work, because I'm going to try to turn it off, and I'm going to keep my clothes on for at least 10 minutes. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.